Quite a lot of water come down, and there's still a lot more up there. Not quite sure how badly the plasterboard's damaged, whether it'll dry out, might need some more nails, or it might need complete replacing. Obviously that leak had been going for several days. There's a joint there and a joint there. The water has traced down to there. That bulge has got a little bit less, and you can see how far across it's gone. The light rose is there, which is on this other piece of plasterboard, so it might have saved it having the joint there, because the water has stayed more this side. You can see the ripples all down there. Yeah, there's quite a lot of water still up there yet. That doesn't feel too soft, so at least it's summertime and it will help to dry out. Both dehumidifiers, the one upstairs is running, this one down here is running. I reckon I've got, well, there's probably 200 ml or more in there, and there's probably a litre perhaps in the hoover already in the wet vac. Right, I'll stick this back on. So while this is drawing water out from this gap here where the joint is, it stops it leaking there. It was leaking to start with, but obviously it's drawn the water back. That is still dripping a bit. I'll give it a sec to see how much more comes out. Let the vac on. Let's take the lid off. At least it's not pouring out like it was. It's definitely an improvement. So, in the wet vac, we have a lot of crap. There's over a litre in there. Definitely over a litre of water in there. That's quite a bit. So if there's a litre in there, there's got to be more than that still up there absorbed into everything, which is not good. So obviously the main concern is around the light rose. Obviously that bulge there, don't know if you can pick it up really on the camera. Not quite sure if you can. You can see where that's the line, the joint. You can see the other joint going that way and that way towards the hole. Obviously that's lying quite low. I don't want to pierce that because I don't want it dripping on the light. So hopefully I can just keep drawing it back there. It's starting to drip again. And it's actually dripping more from the bathroom side than the light side. We'll put the vacuum back on. So the vacuum's sucking quite a large area, because when I go upstairs into the bathroom I can hear it, I can feel a draft from the floor, so it is helping to dry that out as well as this. I don't know whether the phone will pick it up or not, but you can hear it and you can actually feel the draft. You can feel the draft from the vacuum, so it's definitely doing some good. And with the dehumidifier up here going as well. The thing is, with the dehumidifier, it also warms the air, so warmer air dries out. This was soaking yesterday all under here. It's dried it out a lot now. The plaster's drying out of it as well. That was absolutely dripping. So it's getting there from the floor, so it is helping to dry that out, as well as the two dehumidifiers. Just hope it dries it out enough and everything shrinks back a bit better. See how much water we've got in there now. Definitely a good bit more water, but there's probably quite a bit more of it to come down there. It's probably had about, it's had a good hour now, on and off, all told, as well as the dehumidifier is running. But you can't, I'd say, yeah, you can't really see it on the camera so much, but that's still there. But I pushed up on that now, whereas before there was resistance behind it, felt as if there were water. It now feels as if there's nothing there. It's just an empty, it's a void, but there's still water there. It's just about to start dripping again. So there's nothing at all coming out of that one with the vacuum running. So that's a good thing. So let's have another look in here. Yeah, it's definitely getting more water. Don't know what's in there now. Oh, nearly dropped it. Yeah. It's not picking so much out now, but there's that, obviously that. What the dehumidifiers have got. Dehumidifiers have already sucked up over 2 litres between the two of them. So yeah, that's dripping again. But obviously it's not cascading out as it was. I'll put the vacuum back on and leave it for half an hour. Come back and have a look in a bit. This has been running for nearly 2 hours now, or just like 2 hours on and off. I kept checking it, leaving it, and it's started dripping again, so I've just added it to suck a bit more out, but it's definitely drying it out. It's going to take a while. Right, so I'm just going to leave it for a bit now, have some dinner, and see how much is still dripping out of it. So the water in here now as well is from the bowl. I'll measure it all after and see how much there is. But the 2 dehumidifiers, we've probably had just over 2 litres out of those. I'd say that there's 2.5 litres maybe in there, but I'll measure it after and see how much. But it's just still dripping a little bit from the ceiling, so I'll just leave it for a bit now to see how much starts coming out. Well, I'm going to turn the dehumidifier off downstairs. It's quite warm now today actually, so open up the door and the window and let some air through. That'll help it a bit. But it's just coming back. This is just starting to drip through again now. The vacuum's been off about 2 minutes, so it's definitely much better. I've got a moisture meter, one upstairs and one downstairs, and this was on 76 I think it was an hour or so ago. It's down to 65 now, so it's definitely getting rid of the moisture. All the dehumidifier upstairs in the bathroom, everything's put away now. So far in total I've had just short of 6 litres of water from the ceiling. It's looking a bit better now. Obviously there's the hole there where the majority of the water I vacuumed through. Where the joints are, obviously they're still bulging, particularly above the light. You can't really see it in the shadow, but it's right where that shadow of the light is. There's quite a bulge there. Hopefully it will shrink as it dries out, and then obviously that was where the initial drip was, which was obviously not quite the lowest point, because that seems to be the lowest point. So it's just a question of letting it all dry out now. I have got an endoscopic camera, so I might stick the hole there and just have a look. As you can see, it's right on the plasterboard joint just there, so sort of an advantage because it stopped it from tracing down the rest of the ceiling really. And obviously with that dropping, it's kept the water at this end of the room, which is just above the bathroom up there. So it has come down the studded wall. I did notice some of this last night was bulging a bit. It's all gone now. It's gone back to as it should be. So that's dried out a bit, but I know the floor, it's gone down into the floor and there is moisture on the floor. So it's a floating floor, which is a bit of a pain, but dehumidifier sorted that out. But it's a nice day. It's warmed up now. I turned the dehumidifier downstairs off about an hour ago and opened the doors and windows up to let the air flow through. I've just pulled it to now because of the traffic going past, but it's starting to dry out quite well now. It's going to take a while, but once it's all dried out, I'll inspect it again and look to see what damage, if any, permanent damage has been done. But that's what happens when you have a new shower fitted and it ends up leaking a week or so after it's been installed. I think it's been running steadily and progressively getting worse for probably 3 or 4 days, maybe longer, judging by the amount of water and the damage that it's done to that end of the ceiling. Where that hole is now, obviously it's ripped out through the nail and the plasterboard now. The nail is probably 10-12 mil or more, from this outside edge of the plasterboard, so this has dropped. I can see it's dropped. I can see the bow in it anyway. Where the bird seed is there, you could pretty much have a 3-inch gap there, and on this end there's not quite an inch there now, so it has dropped quite a bit, but it doesn't pick it up on the camera really. So anyway, it's question now, just wait and see. I'm going to put the camera up probably and have a look and see how wet it is still up there, if there's any water, but that's about it for now.